everyone and welcome back. Today I'll be doing a dorm tour. This may not be the ideal time. I probably should have done this when I actually moved in and first did up my room because it has gone through several phases since then. I'm actually moving out in a week. However, seeing as these are my last few days living in student accommodation probably ever, I wanted to clean up my room for the last few days before I actually pack everything up and move away into my new flat. My room has gone through a few different phases. I had a big photo wall up at the very beginning, which I think could be visible in a few of my videos from first semester. That has completely gone and has been changed to different types of collages. My Polaroid wall was definitely different. My bulletin board was definitely different, but this is kind of like the final iteration of my bedroom in student accommodation. It's also probably my favorite version of my room, at least at this point in time, and this is kind of the way that I like to remember my room. So this video is just a really great opportunity not only to help others see what student accommodation could look like for them, but also just like a nice little memory for me. I really want to have this bedroom documented in some way, and I feel like this would be the ideal way to do that. Also, a nice thing about filming this just now as I'm about to move out is that I can freely share what accommodation I lived in. I lived in Robertson's Close, which is one of the student accommodations offered by Edinburgh University. Obviously this is not information that I would have freely shared on the internet at the beginning of my tenancy, as, you know, privacy. I am still a little bit sick, so my voice is not ideal, but this is kind of the last moment when I can freely film this before I start to pack stuff up and before my room gets too messy. So without further ado, I'll get on to show some of my favorite parts of my room, some of my storage solutions, some of my photo walls, the little space that has been my home for the last 9 months. So this is the entrance to my bedroom. I have this little hallway situation going on, which I think is an element of large bedrooms because my bedroom is considered a large in this accommodation. So on the door there are some hooks where I just kept all of my tote bags so that they're just like easy to grab and go. Then right here I put some pins into the wall, and there I keep my keys, some face masks for when they were still mandatory, and an umbrella. Now when we move a little bit more to the inside of the actual room, I put another little pin on the wall to hold my robe, and right here is my wardrobe. So this is a kind of point of view of when you enter my bedroom, and you have my wardrobe right behind. On the top I've got a box for my drawing board and my suitcases, and inside I just keep my clothes. Will not be opening that as it is quite messy at the moment, and this is also not enough space for me, which is why I had to purchase an additional clothing rack. Now when you walk past my wardrobe you kind of get to the main part of my room, but right behind me is my dresser and a little photo collage that I taped above it. So this right here is a zoom in on my dresser. This is where I keep a lot of my jewelry, my little knickknacks, things that I like to have accessible and easy to grab right before I leave. I have a mirror propped up against it, some greenery, and then I have a few plates and cups and containers that I got from charity shops. Then I use the side of the wardrobe to stick all my Polaroids, and above the mirror is also my collage. And then finally my clothing rack, which I mentioned before. This is just some extra hanging room for some of my clothes. During winter I had a few extra coats that I've now hidden away, like my big puffy coat and some trenches, but I've hidden those away to give myself a little bit more room for some like lighter shirts and things. And there's also some hooks on there. I still have a few hats and scarves on there, even though I don't really use them this time of the year. Down below here I also have a shoe rack, which is also very useful because that is where I keep the bulk of my shoes. Now this right here is my desk area. This is a place where I did a lot of my work in semester 1, not as much in semester 2, as that is the time when I was mostly doing my work in studio. However, I still spent a significant amount of time sitting right here, even if it was sometimes eating my breakfast or doing my makeup or watching a Netflix show and I needed to chill a bit. This was kind of my little nook. It's right next to my bed, so even if I was sitting on my chair, it was nice to like lay my legs out onto the bed. The bulletin board has gone through quite a few changes over the last few months, but this is it at its current and probably final state. There's just some photos that I took, some photos that I found online, some quotes, some lyrics, a little map where I like to pin off the places that I visited. And back here I have a little bookshelf where I keep some of my necessities. I also put up some more Polaroids on the side there because I had some extra ones, and I also wanted to decorate that area. I also have this plastic ledge above my desk, and apart from using it as a place to plug all my devices in because it has sockets, I also have a little display of CDs because I like collecting Taylor Swift CDs that I find in charity shops, and that kind of like ties in with the rest of my bulletin board nicely. And then finally, this is the area above my bed where I created a photo collage. This is the final iteration of the photo collage that will probably be present in this bedroom before I move out. There's also fairy lights right above it, and in general it's just like a really nice cozy area. I also have this tiny bedside table type area right next to my bed. I just got a basket and I keep a few of my essentials right next to that, alongside some books and a water bottle. And I actually got a skirt for my bed because I heavily use the space underneath my bed. I have so many boxes of extra stuff, just storage, mostly for clothes, but also for cosmetics, for extra skincare, for snacks. I heavily utilize the area underneath my bed, which is why it was really important for me to have a skirt so that it would like hide all the mess underneath the bed. So this is the final version of the space that I have been living in for the last 9 months. I've really grown to love this room, and it's really nice looking back at the vlog of when I first moved in here and the space was empty and bare, and I was talking about how I see so much potential in this room to make it my own, as it is quite empty and bare, and I really think that I was able to achieve that. I think adding photo collages, Polaroids, all the little personalized knickknacks really made this room my own, and it will be really sad for me to have to pack all this up in a few days. It's really kind of bittersweet that I have my last few days here, and even though I'm not leaving Edinburgh for good in any capacity, when I do come back it won't be to this place, and even though I won't be living far from where I currently live, this will no longer be my street. So it is quite a full circle moment to look back on me moving in here and really not knowing what would happen over this year, and now kind of packing everything up, closing up this chapter. Even though it's really exciting that I'll actually have my own flat and not just student accommodation, it will be quite sad to pack all of this up, especially all my photo walls. But despite all of that, thank you so much for watching, and I'll hopefully see you in my next one. Bye!